Are you ready to be Airbnb hosting but don't know where to get the money to start? In this video, I'm going to show you the #1 strategy to use to get the money you need. What's up, creators? Massey here with the CASHFLOW Diary. I've had the privilege of serving more than 3,000 guests and completing more than 1,000 reservations using websites like HomeAway, Booking.com, Airbnb, and others. And on this channel, I share with you how to grow your cash flow using real estate and the sharing economy. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Okay, so maybe you've used a website like Airbnb, HomeAway, Flipkey, Wimdu, etc. There are so many, and now you're wondering, how can you participate in it and be the ones receiving the cash as opposed to just the ones paying the cash? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what are 8 steps. It's 8 steps that everybody must go through, and then I'm going to give you one tool that you can use to go out there and actually begin to build what you need in order to raise the capital that you require for your business idea. So what the 8 steps are is something I like to call the path to becoming. We're all on this path, and I think you're on the path to becoming a bigger, better, badder real estate investor. Maybe just a bigger, better, badder rentalpreneur, or just a better entrepreneur, better husband, better father, better spouse. Doesn't matter. You get the idea. We're on a path. Now, the cool thing about this is that you only need to have one of the steps, and it's the first one, desire. Now, I'm going to assume that because you're here right now with me, you have the desire. You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't have the desire. So that's good. Number 2 is time. This is a resource that you have already. The challenge is how you've been investing your time may not have produced the best return. And understand this, I use the word investing intentionally. So ask yourself this question. From the last 30 days, the last 7 days, maybe even the last hour, what have you done that's going to produce a return on your time? If you're not coming up with an answer, that's the problem, is that we've got to begin taking our most valuable resource, time, and using it differently so that we can go out there and build our businesses and make things happen. The #1 thing you should be doing with your time is building an asset of any kind, and understand that asset has many definitions. For some of you, you're probably good at writing, and that's great. Others of you, maybe you're good at singing and you should be recording that and releasing your music. And some of you, maybe what you should be doing is making videos, or who knows. All of us have the capacity to build some sort of an asset that we can use in the marketplace today. It leads us to number 3. What you should be doing with your time is gaining new talents and skills. Those new talents and skills are the things that help you develop as a human being. So maybe you are pretty good at taking photos. Maybe you're pretty good at writing, but you're not so good with people right now, or you're not so good with sales, or you're not so good with organization or accounting, or who knows. The point is that we should all be trying to add to our talents and skills daily. Constantly. If you've got 2 talents, go make 4. If you've got 5, go for 10. The point is, adding to your talents leads you to number 4, which is relationships. What it comes down to in business, all businesses, is relationships. Often when you are trying to gain new talent, say you want to become a better chef, you want to cook. Well, there's usually a cooking class, or there's a meetup group, or there's some sort of networking event or association around that subject, etc. What that means is other people are there who are trying to do the exact same thing, and you begin to form new relationships. As you're forming those new relationships, you get to the next step, which is credit or credibility. As you continue to show up to those networking events over and over and over again, the same ones, you begin to gain credit or credibility with someone so that they might eventually want to or feel comfortable with actually doing business with you. Here's what I mean. Oftentimes, you've heard it said, or at least marketers have said, it takes 7 exposures before someone is ready or willing to do business with you. Okay. Well, if you keep showing up to that networking event, someone gets to know, like, and trust you over time. And what happens is that now you have the ability to go out there and actually ask them to exchange something of value, which gets us to the next one, which is cash. That's usually the first form of showing that you have some credibility with somebody. For example, Think about the last time you drank some water. Maybe it was in a bottle, bottled water, for example. Did you actually look at the label? Probably not, because that brand has built credibility with you. Or if not that brand, that store you bought it from built credibility with you, and then that brand leveraged their credibility so that you would be willing to exchange your few dollars for that bottle of water. The same process happens when it comes to humans, when it comes to building your business, especially when you want resources owned by other people. Well, after you get to cash, the next piece is, well, cash flow. This is, instead of exchanging the very something, it's how can I leverage or use your cash at it for an extended period of time so that we can then together produce a stream of cash. See, by exchanging, you can create piles of cash, but when you can use cash over time, you produce streams of cash. And it's streams of cash that all of us require. We need some stream of income. Let me say it differently. You don't need a job. You need a source of income. Okay, buying and trading, fixing and flipping, whether you're fixing and flipping dump trucks, houses, cars, clothing, it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you develop a system, and then that system leverages the skill sets and the intellectual property and the things that you've put together to produce a steady stream of income so that you and your family can actually have an existence. That's really what it comes down to, is putting all of those things together. Now, after you've got your cash flow together, then you're going to be what I like to call significant. That's when we start to chase significance. And in fact, I think all of us, that's what we're after, is how can I be significant? How can I make a difference in someone else's life? And I think for a lot of us, we're spending way too much time making a difference in our boss's life, if you will, as opposed to making a difference in our own. Now you say, Jay, what does all this have to do with getting me the money for my next short-term rental? Well, I say it's everything, because understanding the path that you're on allows you to have patience to be able to go through the process. And that's the thing. It's not going to instantaneously show up. However, if you are willing to be patient and go through the process, you got a shot. Now, here's the tool. The tool that I strongly encourage you, that helps you with all of those steps, that literally takes you from desire, time, talent, relationships, so that you can gain credibility, cash flow, etc. The whole thing boils down to, are you willing to go out there and educate to dominate using a tool known as a board game? A simple board game. Now, the board game that we often recommend in this particular case is CASHFLOW. It is a board game created by Robert and Kim Kiyosaki. And it does a lot of the work for you because you get to teach someone how to play a board game. Now, through that instruction, they get to know you. You get to build credit and credibility with them. Now, here's the thing. You're not going to just play it once. You're going to play it consistently over time. You're going to maybe have it once, twice, 3 times a month, so that you are now building a system around attracting individuals who have an inclination towards improving their life financially, so that you can then, therefore, give them an opportunity. Remember, you need an idea. And the CASHFLOW board game has been the #1 tool that myself and many others have used to be able to go out there and make that very thing happen. So with all that being said, now I've got a question for you. Given that you just learned about the path to becoming from desire, time, talent, skills, relationships, credit, credibility, cash flow, and significance, where do you think you are on your journey? Answer in the comments below. Also, to watch another video to further your education, click or tap right here. If you want to get access to what we call the ultimate guide to short-term rentals, click or tap right here. And if you haven't already, by all means, click right over here at the little circle and subscribe.